Gentlemen, imagine this. You've been putting in effort for weeks, maybe even months. Good morning texts. The how was your day? Messages, always polite, always consistent, always available. You've done everything right. And what do you get in return? Silence, at best a dry response or two. Now here's where it gets interesting. What if I told you that the moment you stop doing what every other guy does, something almost magical begins to happen? What if the very thing that feels like giving up is actually the trigger that makes her chase you? I'm not talking about manipulative games here. I'm talking about something hardwired into female psychology, something so primal it bypasses logic and speaks directly to instinct. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the girl who's been ignoring your effort might one day become the one chasing you. But here's the catch. Most men will never apply this. Why? Because it goes against every instinct we've been trained to follow. So stay with me. Reason number 3 in particular, it's going to flip your entire perspective on attraction. Let's dive in. Reason 1, scarcity creates value. Think back to basic economics, supply and demand. When you're always available, always on call, you become like running water. Useful, sure, but also overlooked. Nobody values what flows endlessly. Now disappear. I don't mean waiting 3 hours before texting back. I mean a genuine withdrawal. Suddenly, the absence is louder than your presence ever was. There's a story I'll never forget. My friend Marcus spent 6 months orbiting around a woman named Sarah. Good morning texts, compliments, always available when she needed an ego boost. She treated him like background noise. Then Marcus stopped. He didn't vanish out of spite. He genuinely moved on. And here's the twist. 3 weeks later, his phone is lighting up with her messages, calls at 2 a.m. asking where he went. 6 months of attention meant nothing. 3 weeks of silence flipped the script. That's the psychology of scarcity. When you step away, you stop being ordinary. You become a mystery. And the human brain is wired to investigate mystery. Reason 2, the competitive switch. Scarcity is powerful, but add competition to the mix and the effect multiplies. Women don't just want what's rare, they want what other women value. It's primal. Picture this, you've been orbiting a woman for months. Then one day she sees you laughing with someone new. No effort, no agenda, just living your life. What do you think happens? Relief that you're gone? Not a chance. Her instincts kick in like a Formula One engine. Suddenly you've gone from an option she ignored to a prize she might have lost. I saw this play out once in a coffee shop. A guy who had been treated like a backup plan walked in with another woman, laughing, relaxed, not even acknowledging the first girl. Within minutes, that same girl was at his table, interrupting, trying to draw his attention. Why? Because women reevaluate value when they see social proof. If others want him, maybe she was wrong to dismiss him. Maybe she missed something. It's not conscious. It's instinctive. And it works. Reason 3, the emotional roller coaster. This is the big one. Studies from the University of British Columbia tested women's reactions to men's expressions. Happy, proud, and mysterious. Which did women find most attractive? Not the happy, eager guy. Not the one who looked thrilled just to be there. It was the mysterious one. The man who seemed to hold something back. Here's why. Attraction thrives on emotional movement. When you're always available, always eager, you create an emotional flatline. No highs, no lows, just predictable consistency. And predictability kills desire. But when you pull back, when you shift from constant presence to uncertainty, you create intrigue. Her brain starts firing. Where did he go? What's he doing? Why isn't he chasing me anymore? Think about your favorite TV series. You don't stay hooked because it gives you everything up front. You stay hooked because of cliffhangers, twists, unanswered questions. You've got to stop being predictable. Mystery isn't built on fake aloofness. It's built on contrast, moving from presence to absence, from availability to independence. That's when intrigue turns to pursuit. Reason 4, social proof through self-mastery. Let's clear up one common misconception. You don't need to fake confidence. You don't need to pose with rented cars or post contrived photos to look high value. That's performative, and women can see through it instantly. Real value comes from building a life that excites you, a life that makes you busy because you're genuinely engaged, not because you're pretending. Harvard researchers found that people with limited availability, people selective with their time, were consistently rated as more competent, more desirable, and more attractive. It's not about playing games. It's about having a life that's simply too meaningful to waste on someone who doesn't appreciate it. That's real social proof. Reason 5, the power of genuine indifference. Here's the final key. You can't fake indifference. Women have radar for neediness and they'll spot it in seconds. The real transformation happens when you reach a place where you genuinely don't need her validation to feel whole. Anthropologist Dr. Helen Fisher discovered something fascinating about attraction. The harder someone is to read, the more dopamine the brain releases trying to solve the puzzle. But here's the thing, it only works if it's authentic. When you're genuinely fulfilled, chasing goals, thriving in your passions, building relationships that matter, you stop being available out of genuine indifference. Not because you're playing hard to get, but because you are hard to get. The woman who once ignored you doesn't chase because of some trick. She chases because you've become genuinely rare. So, let's recap. 1. Scarcity creates value. 2. Competition triggers instincts. 3. Mystery fuels emotional highs and lows. 4. Social proof comes from real self-mastery. 5. Genuine indifference is the ultimate magnet. Gentlemen, attraction isn't about chasing. It's about stepping back and building a life so strong that the right woman notices. If this message resonated, type authenticity in the comments. I read them all and I want to hear your stories. And if you're ready to learn more about mastering attraction from a place of stoic strength, hit subscribe and ring that bell. Next week, I'll reveal the 3 things women notice about you in the first 30 seconds that decide whether you're boyfriend, material, or just another friend. Until then, remember, stop chasing. Start building. The right woman will notice.